Alright, hi, I'm Zoe Zamora, and I just kind of wanted to go on here and explain my ACL recovery process, you know, when it happened, how fast my recovery has been, and kind of just like the things I wanted to know when I was researching my ACL journey and kind of, you know, seeing what I was getting myself into with all of this. So basically, to start, I partially tore my ACL back in March, which was about, well, I guess 4 months ago now, almost 4 months ago. And when I had initially heard it, I did not think it was my ACL. I was walking around fine. The only things that kind of got to me were moving side to side. Those movements you don't really think about, like getting on your bed, getting in the car, those kind of things are where everything started to become problematic. So basically, when I initially injured it back in March, I got it checked out, but I did not get an MRI. It was diagnosed as a lateral collateral sprain, which is a ligament on your outside, on the outside. And so to me, that's where the pain was. My pain was, you know, on the outside of my kneecap whenever it would give out. But giving out was the only problem that I was really dealing with during the time that I thought it wasn't my ACL. So after about 3 or 4 times that I tweaked it, or that it gave out on me, after those 3 or 4 times, I was like, okay, like I really do need to get this checked out in case it's something worse, aka my ACL. So I got my MRI probably, I'm trying to remember, it might have been like a month after I initially heard it. It may have been a month after, maybe 3 weeks after I had initially heard it. And I got the call from the doctor, my first doctor. He was like, yep, you have a partial tear to your ACL. And I was like, oh, you know, that was the last thing that I wanted it to be. Because I know, because I have seen some of my friends go through ACL surgery and through having, you know, this whole ACL process. And I was like, dang, like that's the worst outcome I could have thought of. But you gotta roll with the punches, right? So, unfortunately, with that doctor, I wasn't able to get in for a consultation with their knee specialist for quite some time. And I had a graduation coming up, so I needed something like a brace, like a heavier brace, to provide me with some stability throughout, you know, walking up and down the stages and all that kind of stuff. So I decided to go to a second clinic, orthopedic clinic, and they were able to get me in for a consultation the next day. Somehow they fit me in, and you know, I couldn't have been more grateful because this clinic has honestly been so helpful and just so kind during this whole process, and it's been so easy. Basically, I went there and the doctor told me, he was like, yes, you have a high-grade partial tear to your ACL. And which meant surgery. And you know, I didn't go for another opinion because I knew the trouble that I was having, and I knew that like I couldn't live life wondering if I was gonna fall because my knee gave out on me, or if I would, you know, just even trip or do something and injure myself even more and put myself more at risk for other things. So we booked the surgery. Originally, we booked it for June 12th because I had a bunch of things going on. I was supposed to go out of state for my cousin's graduation, but it turned out that like I needed to get this fixed as soon as possible because I knew that I was not comfortable. I knew that I was in pain. I knew that something needed to happen. So I actually moved the surgery up to May 20th. And that was a Monday of 2019. And I wrote a little timeline on my computer, so I wanted to, you know, kind of stay on track. Basically, I got surgery on that Monday. They had given me a block, which is the anesthesia they put directly, you know, they give you 1 or 2 shots before you go under general anesthesia. So to numb that, specifically numb that area. And they had asked me about, you know, nausea, and I was like, please, like, I need, you know, whatever you have, like, I probably need medicine for nausea beforehand. And so they gave me a nausea patch on the back of my ear. That's supposed to last for 72 hours. And if anything, if you guys are super, get wheezy or, not wheezy, queasy. If you guys get queasy, I would definitely recommend, you know, asking about that, or if they have some alternative. I think I also got medicine in my IV for nausea as well. So the whole staff at the hospital was so great, so nice, no issues, very routine. So I got home around, it was later in the afternoon, so I got home around 6:30 or 7 o'clock maybe. And I still had the medicine in me, so nothing was really hurting. And then I remember my nurse telling me, you know, you really want to stay on top of your pain medication on that 15-hour mark, because apparently the block wears off at the 15-hour mark. And he could not have been more accurate with the timeline, because as soon as that time hit, I felt that pain. And I like to think that I have a pretty high pain tolerance. And I don't want to sugarcoat this, because I knew that when I was, you know, researching stuff, I didn't want any sugarcoating of any kind to me. Like, I wanted to know what I was getting into. I kind of described the pain as the 127 Hours movie with James Franco, and where he's like cutting off his arm, and not that pain, that's not the pain I'm talking about, but like, okay, so the sound that movie makes, it's like that kind of sound, and like whenever he's like cutting the nerve, I don't know why I associate that sound with the pain that I felt. It wasn't the cutting off part, it was the sound that reminded me of the pain that I felt. So yeah, it's gonna hurt. So just brace for that. Because yeah, I don't even want to think about it. But anyway, but you'll get through it. You'll get through it, because it doesn't last for that long. So then that was the second night when I was really experiencing pain. And I slept with the brace on until, you know, and kept it locked in 0 degrees. So then on that Thursday of the week, so I had surgery on that Monday, so on that Thursday I had my first physical therapy appointment. And you know, they had me do the quad stretches where you straighten your leg and you try and press down. They had me doing calf stretches, the ankle alphabet, all that kind of stuff, getting that movement in there. And really, you know, people always say physical therapy is key, and it really is. People complain about it sometimes, but I personally like physical therapy simply for the fact that I haven't been able to work out the way that I wanted to in 3.5 months. So the fact that I get to go somewhere and be active while also having people around that know that know I'm not gonna get hurt. You know, after my first physical therapy appointment, I was pretty hyped. I was like, okay, I'm gonna stay on top of this. So definitely do those exercises. It is key to the success and to your success of your recovery. And then another thing I wanted to mention was the ice machine that I got from the doctor's office as part of my whole recovery. They have this, I've never seen it before, because none of my family members have ever really had like joint surgery or anything like that. So we never had this, but it's like a ice box basically that filters cold water through an ice pack that it's connected to, and just filters that cold water constantly. And of course you have to fill it up with ice and stuff like that. But I would totally recommend that, because you know, you want to make sure that you're not burning your skin with the ice. And so this ice pack that filters cold water was like perfect for it. And another thing I wanted to address was you will have difficulty getting around. Obviously, you know that you're going to be on crutches for about a month or so. That was one concern that I had, was tearing it somehow again or hurting my knee even more or something like that. So definitely going to the bathroom was a difficulty because you kind of have to inch your foot out, you know, to like sit down. That was one difficulty. You know, getting in the car for PT is definitely a difficulty because you have to have someone lift your leg, because you're not going to have that ability yet to lift your own leg. It's going to be, it was the weirdest thing for me to look at my leg, have my brain like kind of say like, okay, time to lift your leg, and you can't do it. You're just looking at your leg. It's like, I don't even know how I'm supposed to do this. It's so heavy. The brace is so, well, first of all, it's hard to lift your leg with your brace anyway, but in your head, kind of like envisioning yourself do it, but you can't do it. I don't know. It's crazy. So, but PT has been going really well. Right now I am at the 6.5 week mark, I believe. Yes. But at my 1 month checkup with my doctor, he said things were going really well. I was basically at full flexion, meaning I could bend it all the way. He said I no longer needed the big brace, so I ditched that thing, the one that locks. And so he said I didn't need that anymore, and when I felt comfortable, I could start weaning off the crutches. And I definitely built up some arm strength with those crutches. I would recommend buying pads for sure, because you'll be on them for a while. I got some off of Amazon probably for like 10 or 12 bucks. And they were like these like wool kind of looking ones, and they're just cute, and they were comfortable. And then actually, since they were a little bit puffier, it kind of made when I took them off a little easier, because I was already propped and I was already used to not having my armpits set on the crutches. So yeah, I would recommend that. And then, so yeah, I'm at my 6 week mark. I am down to 1 crutch, which is really nice because now I can carry things with my other hand. My knee still kind of wobbles. I guess it wobbles and will sometimes kind of like pop out a little bit, like, or like pop backwards when I'm not expecting it. But like, I just have to build up my strength in my quad and stuff like that until I'm completely comfortable and can ditch that, that other crutch. Also, I think the best thing I could have ever heard when I was researching what this process was going to be like, is that it's okay to ask for help, and that strangers are kinder than you think. And you know, like if they see you struggling, like that's something definitely that I've had to deal with, is like allowing people to help me, because I'm very much a person that wants to do everything on their own and is a control freak sometimes. And so it's okay to ask for help is the bottom line, because you're gonna have people lifting your leg to get into places, to get up, to, you know, do the simplest things, even opening doors when you're under crutches. You know, people will see you, so like don't be afraid to ask for help. Yeah, that's one of the biggest things I could have ever heard. And also just the mindset. It's going to hurt. First of all, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Like I said before, like it's going to hurt, but that didn't last for a long time. That was only like the first, like the second night and the third night maybe I was at that pain level, probably. And so yeah, mindset's a huge thing. Don't go in thinking, oh man, like I'm gonna be out for, you know, 4 weeks, like that's a long time, or like, you know, you can't drive. But I couldn't drive till the 5th week. Well, I decided not to, because I tore my right ACL. And all the people that I knew or that I have known that have torn their ACLs always tore their left. So like it made sense that after like 2 or 3 weeks, whatever it is, that they'd be able to drive, because that's not your main driving leg. But that wasn't the case for me. And I didn't feel comfortable getting in a car and like having to brake really fast, because I don't think my leg could handle it. So I definitely, you you know, had to rely on others to help me get places. But my friends and family were so good with me and really, really helped me out. But yeah, what I was saying, I keep interrupting my own self about this whole mindset thing. It's gonna hurt, but it'll give you time to kind of reflect. I know it definitely gave me that time. I think that when you go in with a positive mindset, positive attitude, things just feel better. You know, it's self-fulfilling prophecy. If you feel like you're gonna, if it's gonna be a horrible recovery and you're gonna be miserable, chances are, odds are, you are gonna feel that way. So why not put positive vibes into the universe and just kind of make it the best experience that you can. But yeah, it definitely gave me some time to reflect. And when I went into PT, I was like, okay, like I want to be the best patient they've seen. Like I want to really work on this. I want to cut my my recovery time down just a little, you know, but I want to bounce back better than ever. And so far, everything is, I'm gonna knock on wood before I say anything. Everything has kind of gone a little quicker, and my physical therapist said that if I continue on this track that I'm on, that I'll actually cut the time down. So I'm really happy about that, and I know that going into it, it was gonna be a long road, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. I knew I couldn't live life not knowing if I was gonna fall or trip or something and hurt myself more, so you're just gonna have to roll with it. But yeah, I think that's really it so far. I don't have a brace, but I do have a protective brace, but I don't have I'm not wearing the big brace anymore. I have a protective brace that I wear if I feel like I'm gonna be extra active that day. I cover my scars up when I go out, like go out to lunch or go out in the sun, even to the pool, but not get in the pool yet, but you know, get in the pool and make sure I have SPF on it, or I've been putting, you know, oil on it. But yeah, so I just kind of wanted to, you know, tell you like how I've been taking care of it, and what I've been doing. I think I want to do another video where I update you at like the 3-month mark, 6 months, a year, and kind of go from there. I know I can't wait to get back to the things that I was doing. But you know, it's only a short time away. My scars are healing nicely. And yeah, so anyways, thank you for watching. And I hope this helps just a little bit with maybe the concerns that you're having pre-surgery or even during your recovery. You know, it'll go by quicker than you think. So just keep that positive mindset and keep up those PT exercises, and I'm sure you'll be better than ever. So yeah, thanks for watching.